Action.
Action. So, this used to be the marijuana party headquarters. Take a look up there. See, now it's traffic archive. Yeah, fight that ticket. Well, it used to be fight the marijuana laws. And right here, in this very display window, come, take a look at the display window. On that very shelf, starting from about here, and going right around over here, on that shelf in that little window there, was my 171 marijuana plants. And now let's take a look over there. See right there? See that thing there, that building? That's the provincial law courts. That's right. That's the provincial law courts for Edmonton. In Edmonton, I should say, for Alberta. That's the main courthouse of Alberta. And I grew 171 plants right here in this freaking window across the street from there. Now you may ask yourself, how did I do that? Well, I served notices on the right people. A notice is where you go and you send a letter off and you say at the top, notice, and you make your claims, and then you say at the bottom, please reply to this address in writing within 2 weeks, which is a lawful period of time for a notice, a reply to a notice. Otherwise, I will consider your non-reply to be tacit and binding agreement that my claims are true. Now, if you make sure that everything you say in a notice is absolutely, undeniably true, no one can say no. That will land in their lap. There won't be shit they'll be able to do about it. The best they can do is not reply and give you tacit consent.
Right.
So, I told them that Regina versus Hauser says that the pot laws are civil. And then I said to them, and also, Section 176 of the Criminal Code says that ministers aren't to be proceeded against under the pretense of executing a civil process. Otherwise, the one proceeding against them on a civil process is committing a criminal indictable offense not exceeding 2 years punishment. Like you can go to jail for 2 years for that crap. Now, what does that, you say, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, I'll tell you. See, in the law, that section of the Criminal Code divides us up into two categories. There are clergymen, and those are guys that work for a registered religious belief system. Okay? They actually, according to the articles of the religious societies that govern the incorporation of those religious societies, they have given up canon. They aren't following God anymore. They are under the auspices of the Act. They are acting as persons. They are a bunch of phonies, technically at least. Even though the people in their congregations may be totally into God. But the other category is called a minister. And that's what Christ called all of us to do. Minister in accord with our beliefs. We're supposed to go around, minister on the street, minister door to door. Our beliefs, as best as we know them. I believe that this is good bush. Don't have to say anything about that. And and the only ism I believe in is jism. So I will minister my belief that God gave me marijuana. They went, and then I went and I said, oh yeah, and that thing called the royal law, which the Queen swore to uphold to the utmost of her duties, which makes it her number one job. That thing called the King James Bible, that thing says that we get all plants bearing seeds. And the last I checked, marijuana had seeds.
Yeah.
So
it certainly
when I
does.
told them that, they're like, and then I said to them, consensus facit legum. Regina versus Hauser says that those laws are civil. Well, consensus facit legum means what is legal or civil in jurisdiction only becomes lawful by consent. Did you consent to those marijuana laws?
No, sir.
I guess they don't apply to you then. And if you want to minister your beliefs and go around and invoke your ministerial rights that you didn't even know you had before, probably. I know some of you. And if you want to avoid all civil merchant regulations, like kind of like if some merchant regulation comes along, some merchant guy with this merchant jurisdiction comes along and he says, "Buy my toothbrush for $1 million." You get to say no. Right? The same with the marijuana laws. It's just a merchant offer. You say to them, "I refuse your offer, officer." And that's another thing. Officer. What's an office? Well, most people, I remember when I was first asked that, it's a room where some guy does his job. No, an office is a title. It's a fiction. Okay? So you can only act as an officer. You can only pretend you're one. You are, in true fact, a living being, regardless of whether or not you're pretending you're an officer. Why need I pay any attention to something that somebody else is pretending? They can take their dog and pony show and wander off. I don't even care to be part of the audience, thank you. So, that's how I got away with growing 171 marijuana plants right in this window. Across the street from the provincial law courts, at the marijuana party headquarters, which used to be here. Now, I am fucking cool. Okay, enough.